there are many different strategies. But when it comes to just simply calming your nervous system down, always remember the moment you calm your nervous system down, you're calming your immune reactivity down. The moment you calm your mind down, you're calming your immune reactivity down because of the psycho-neuroimmunology connection. So just at the beginning, if you hear and you're new to this and you're thinking, oh, okay, this is all just too much to even get my head around, it's simple. Calm your mind down, you calm your immune system down, which we know with allergies and asthma, that's what you need to be doing. Right. And that needs to be your main objective here, because this, this constantly just too much reactivity, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're calming the vagus nerve, you're activating, shall I say, the vagus nerve, which means that you're dropping into the rest and digest response, you're also calming the immune reactivity down. So how do we do this? So there are many different little tools. And what I suggest is that people need to make sure that they go with something that makes them feel good. Because just because I say, hey, meditate, if somebody is not really much of a meditator, even though everybody should aspire to be, but that takes time and practice. Not everybody may be here right now thinking, oh, great, I'll just meditate for an hour. That's not achievable for most people in the Western world, okay? Right. So don't give yourself too much of a hard time over this if it's something that you feel like you cannot do. A very easy entry level to meditation is deep, slow breathing. And you don't even have to manipulate it in a particular way. One thing you can do is just sit and just observe your breath. That's very powerful, yet the simplest thing you can possibly do. Just sit there, close your eyes, and observe your breath. Then when you're ready to manipulate the breath a little bit, all you need to do is that your inhalation, your exhalation, shall I say, so as you breathe out for a little bit longer than you inhale. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of different techniques you can use. Retention. Breath retention is also good, maybe not right for everybody, but it is also a technique you can progress to. So breathing is going to be really critical. It's something you can do anytime, any place. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can immediately drop into rest and digest. Mm-hmm. Just by breathing for a couple of minutes, just literally, it's not, people like, oh, that's so cliche, just deep, slow breathing. If you do it, you will have that physical effect. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes people look for big, overly complicated solutions when it doesn't have to be. Another thing that could drop you into parasympathetic, if that's what you like, is interacting with your animals, interacting with nature. Anything that makes you go, oh, that's really nice, is going to immediately drop you into that calm state, and from there reduce your immune reactivity. But here's what I want to say. If you just want to hack it, meaning that you read online that cold showers and gargling are really good for your vagus nerve, and you just stick with those because you want to go nowhere near your mind because you don't want to go there, you're not going to be able to hack it, okay? So that emotional toxicity, those incessant thoughts and the beating yourself up in your head and trying to control and all of that needs to be resolved. That garbage that I was talking about, that a lot of people have in here, the complete chaos and mess that they have in here, needs to be resolved one way or the other. Whatever way that works for you, whether you go deep dive into trauma work or whether you just first build a little bit of awareness of what triggers you, and you just sort of bit by bit, maybe you read my book. My book comes with videos and meditations, so you can literally just do it at your own pace. It's almost like a course in itself. It's not just a book. It's got those other resources. And you can pace yourself and see, how quickly you want to go with this. But this needs to be resolved, because otherwise your vagus nerve will always be, malfunctioning, basically. This is a very important point. So many things, Tai Chi, yoga. I also already mentioned nature. Gratitude journaling, very, very powerful, releases oxytocin and serotonin. So whatever makes you feel good, you do it. And what I suggest to people is that they have a bunch of things that they do, so you want to do multiple activations of your vagus nerve through the day, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. So you don't want to go an hour of meditation and then nothing for a week.
Right.
You want to do little bits, so you always bring yourself back to calm. That is by far the best strategy. That is by far the best strategy. Because it doesn't need to take a ton of time. You can be literally a couple of minutes of breathing, then a bit of havening, which I also teach in my book and my video. So this is a super technique that can help you with trauma, can help you with emotions when you're overwhelmed emotionally. And then maybe you go for a walk in nature. Then maybe you do a bit of gardening. Then maybe you go, I don't know, do a bit of essential oils, inhaling or whatever else, right? But you have enough awareness to notice in particular when you are getting activated through the day, and you immediately have something up your sleeve to bring yourself back into calm. That is the best strategy. It's not about activating your vagus nerve for 2 hours once a week or an hour once a week. That's not quite what I have in mind. Right. We need to keep bringing, because what we're doing here, I mentioned that when you're always stressed out or anxious, you're training your survival states. You're training those branches of the nervous system that are responsible for fight, flight, or even freeze. What you need to do is you need to train and activate the other side so it becomes stronger and it becomes more active even without you thinking about it. It should make it to the point where it is automatic for you to just think about it and boom, you drop into calm, right? But this is going to take a bit of time and practice. Right. So I hope that helps. I also wanted to say that so these are 3 things that you can do at any time, any place. But I also want people to be aware that there are certain things, if you want to invest in some technologies that can be an absolute game changer for you, and you can actually reset your nervous system. You can apply frequencies of stem cells to actually rejuvenate your nervous system. You can apply frequencies of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, you name it. Save yourself a ton of money on supplements, and those frequencies go exactly where they need it, bypassing the digestive process. Not to mention things like revitalizing organs, tissues, cells. Those technologies do exist. I got quite a few devices like that, and I've been using these technologies for quite a while, because where I come from in Eastern Europe, that's been part of my life for most of my life. So it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's just that most people are not aware of it because of the, we know the issues with Big Pharma and how they don't like
even like supplements, let alone bioresonance.
We know all of that, right? So also things like infrared saunas. If you want to invest in something that's really, really gonna help you on this journey, then that would be another thing. So obviously the bioresonance technology is my top one for investing, and it's not even that big an investment. It really isn't. We're not talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, depending on, what you want to go with. It's not really even that big, yet it can be absolutely spectacular in terms of how much more quickly. You still have to obviously follow your dietary plan. It's not that you abandoned all that. You don't do that and then go to McDonald's. Obviously, that's not how it works. But it can really support you and help you regenerate your tissues and cells a lot more quickly and reset your immune system completely, right? Well, we know fasting can do that as well, but that's also not for everybody. So it really does depend. But yeah, I also mentioned infrared sauna because that's one of the best investments also. From my perspective, it can do so much. So if nobody's speaking on it on the summit, then perhaps people just need to go and look that up on their own. But there is an awful lot. So my message is, don't feel defeated, don't feel disempowered. I know that having allergies and asthma is no fun at all. My husband suffered from these things as a child as well, and mold was actually something that really floored him at some point. We were both floored by it. You know, so those technologies, those things that I'm talking about, have really helped us, or helped me personally, and members of my family to function and to get better, to recover, and to have a good life. So
fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
So if people want to learn more about bioresonance, because yeah, you put a great teaser out there, Dr. Eva, like, oh wow, that sounds amazing. How do we learn more?
So the best thing would be to get in contact with me. Go to my website and just email me, and I can sort of comment on the different things depending on your needs, right? Depending on your needs. So tell me what it is that you're looking for, and I can tell you. I do actually provide training and resources for those things, because these are such amazing technological advances, and I want to make sure that people are using them well. So I do have an entire membership academy website where we have Q&As, we have all sorts of videos, trainings like that, because the one thing that most of the devices, unfortunately, are complex, and it takes a little bit of a learning curve. But if you know what you're doing, and if you're being guided and you know what you're doing, then you can do so much more, and you can get to where you want to go so much more quickly. So just contact me. That will be info@dr-eva.com. That's my email. Or go to my website and you find my email. You know, other than working on your self-awareness, making sure that you are coming back to calm, always coming back to calm through whatever means are working for you. And other than that, if you want to kind of expand further, then that would be the things to look into.
This has been such a wonderful exploration of the vagus nerve and the connection, and really empowering people with what they can do both in their homes here and now, and then giving them other ideas and resources to explore. Any last words?
As I said a moment ago, I know that when you're not well, particularly when you are reactive, when it just becomes such a pain to go anywhere, do anything, because you have to consider all of these things, that is no fun. But there are ways to help you to turn it around, and you should never ever stop searching until you have found the perfect recipe for you, because the human system is extremely resilient. Overall, we are not that easy to get rid of, even though many have tried, right? Particularly recently, we know. And I can tell you something else. If you're here listening to this, even though you may not be very well at the moment, but you are still here. You are still more or less standing. You're still here. You're doing really, really well. Okay. So you need to congratulate yourself for getting to this point, because we poisoned in every which way, through our food, through our water and air, and we know through injectables, through all sorts of things. We know the story, right? The fact that we are still here, we are doing really well, and now we need to elevate, and elevate again. And there are tools and ways of doing that. So just keep going, keep persevering. You can do this.